This is Coffee with Timmy. Hello, how are you? How have you been? Welcome back to Coffee with Timmy. So, as I'm getting older, it's that time of the year again. So many things are going through my mind, and some of them make no sense. And I thought, what better thing to do than to share it with you guys and hear what you have to say. So today I was talking about something entirely different, but something that's been on my mind for a while just got real. I say got real because I've had it in my mind, but I needed a word to describe what I wanted to say, to describe what I thought. And anyway, I'm having this conversation, just, talking about everyday things, and the word dropped into my spirit. Just mid-sentence. I'm sure that has happened to some of us before. And the word that came to my mind was insignificant. Insignificant. And it was just apt. It is just apt. Because I've been thinking of how much time we've wasted, worrying about what people think of me, what people think of us. And I realized something, that it was actually 1 minute too much. So many of us, and I'm including myself, that's what else, we wasted too much energy, and we're still wasting, thinking about the opinions of people who have no role in our lives, who play no role in our lives, who, like my people who say, did not put Gary on the table. You're not asking for Gary money from them. So, why are their opinions so important to us? Some of them, we don't even know them. They're just passing faces. They're just people that we sort of met by chance, like ships in the night. Let me give you an example. Some years ago now, I was jogging. And let me be honest, jogging, I use that word very, very loosely, okay? I was just jogging, my kind of jogging, at my own pace. When someone I knew just drove by, hooted and waved at me, I waved back, and instantly, I stopped. I became so self-conscious that I actually was thinking, oh my word, what do I think I'm doing? On the road, I'm jogging or I'm waddling, and I just stopped, just like that. Not because I was tired, right? And not because I was exhausted, my body couldn't move again. I was just so embarrassed that I was doing this on the road where people could see me. I think I probably felt ashamed a bit. And this is all because of how I thought I might be perceived. My friend, I can't even remember if it was a friend or was an acquaintance, had driven off. All this thought that I'm having stand in the middle of the road, person's gone. Maybe they laughed at my jiggly beats. I don't know. And really, I wasn't even there, so I really shouldn't have cared. But crazy as it was, I just stopped. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying people's opinions are worthless or, that their opinions don't matter. And some things, yeah. But there are people that have no path, no say in my life, in my purpose, in my journey. They are totally insignificant to my life. And yet, I have made their opinions matter. I have given value to what they say. Not because they've said I matter in your life and what I say is important, because I have given value to what they're saying about me. I grew up in an environment, not a bad environment, but I grew up in an environment where we made fun of things. We made fun of each other, but I have to give us credit and say we also knew how to laugh about ourselves. We judge bodies. Now, remember, this was way before body shaming was a thing. So we will say somebody had knock knees. We will look at their forehead, and if the airline was sort of receding, we will say it was shiny. There was a name we called it, it was a shiny. If I say the word, those we know will know. Say, look at the opon. And I had bow legs. I still have bow legs, obviously. And even my uncles who made fun of me and said they could drive a truck to it or something like that. I remember I had an uncle, he's dead now, who will measure my calf. We will measure our calves, and it will make. But I didn't take offense. It was just something that we did. So we gave labels to our bodies. We will talk about people's ears and everything, and we didn't see the harm in what we were doing. I'm sure it was harmful, but it was just what we did. Now I'm living in a different environment, and it's made me realize, or maybe not the environment, maybe it's just the fact that now there's a label, body shaming, and I'm beginning to look at things in a different way. I'll give you another example about myself. I've got a big nose, and it's long and big. It's obviously been always long and big. When I was growing up, everyone, and I was a skinny, to look at me now, you never believe it, but I was a skinny girl, and the first thing you will see was this big nose. It was out of proportion to my face. It was long, it was big, and people will even pull it. Even classmates, they will pull my nose and call me names that I'm not going to repeat on air, and I would cry. It was painful, it was hurtful. But you know what? Just recently, I think last week, I was having a makeover, and the lady wanted to, contour or whatever it is that they do to the face. And I said to her, no, I don't want my nose to look slimmer. I like it. This is my face, and I've grown to love it, and I've grown to it also. My body's grown to it. And I said, no, just leave it. I like my face the way it shows, my nose the way it is. And I'm not going to lie. So it's taken me a lot of decades to get to that, to actually accept my nose and my body the way they are. And I won't lie, some of those judgments still live with me. It still lives within me. I'm trying to unlearn them slowly, but it's still there. For example, if you know me, I'm always talking about losing weight. I'm beginning to realize that I probably am not serious about it, because I'm sort of accepting, in a way, what I look like. But because there is, and I'm putting my fingers up in quotes, there's an accepted shape, an accepted size that I obviously am aspiring to, whether I know it or not, whether I mean it or not. Anyway, it is insignificant. The opinion of others who have no space in my life, who don't do anything for me, who are ships passing in the night. The opinions don't matter. The opinions of those who actually matter to me, I realize, and I'm sure most of us are like that, we don't actually value it as much as we should. We are listening to frivolous, and I'm calling it frivolous now, comments from people who are out of our lives before we know it. Those people who I haven't seen in a while, and they see you, and the first thing they say is, oh, you've put on so much weight. Okay. It's almost like saying, oh, you've grown. Yes, I haven't seen you in years. I have grown. But that, when we hear that, it brings us up short. So why are we giving room to this? For me, right now, in my reflective mode, I'm always like this when I've got a birthday coming. I'm trying to learn to weigh what really matters. Some things I already understand, that this is important and this is not important. And I'm trying to actually just not give my time, my energy, my heart, the space that I have, that is just my own space, to what doesn't matter. I'm trying to only look at the things that are truly valuable, because that is what matters. It might not be what you think, so what matters to me might not be what matters to you. But definitely, what my neighbor thinks doesn't really matter in certain things. What the stranger on the road thinks about me waddling down the road and thinking I'm jogging doesn't matter. And the voice in my head that is echoing what someone else have said about me, about the fact that maybe I'm short, about the fact that whatever it is that they've said about me, it doesn't matter. They're strangers. They're going to remain strangers. I'm never going to see them again. Why? Because those things don't matter. They are insignificant. They're not significant. So what I'd like us to do, let's stop wasting our days living and thinking about what some audience, some person over there, wherever, who don't have a space in our life. Let's stop thinking about them because they don't matter. Let's give our, what will I call it now? Let's focus on the things that are truthful about us, about our people, and you know who your people are. Let's start the healing. If you've been called negative things that have affected you, let's start to speak the truth to ourselves, the truth of who we are, which is what is on the inside of us. Let's begin to grow, because when you begin to heal, you begin to grow. And sometimes we have to grow away from those people if they won't stop. Let's be courageous enough to say, no, don't do this, or don't say that. There's a name we use, when they say somebody's got balked teeth, the person doesn't want to be compared to a horse. I mean, seriously, who wants to? Why would we say that and say it to their face? It's not funny. It's not even funny when you're saying it, but you're making fun of someone else and you think they should laugh. It's not funny. Let's speak with purpose when we're talking to people, and let the purpose be something positive, or you just live in the purpose that you know is for your life. Let's work in love. Let's speak the truth in love, and please don't say something about someone that you know it's not a positive thing, and say, no, but I'm saying it in love. No, I don't want you to say it in love, because it's hurtful what you're saying. Let's just be joyous in the space that we are, with ourselves, with other people. Let's be joyous. And that's where I think we need to start putting our energy now, and the things that are healing, that brings us growth, that is purposeful to our life, that shows love, that is joyous, that's truthful. I hope this has spoken to somebody. I hope you will listen again and see how, you may be the ones hurting other people. And if someone's hurt you, see how you can recalibrate your brain. And maybe you know someone who needs to hear this. Feel free to share it with that person. And thank you for sticking to listen. Sometimes it's a rant, but you see, I'm saying this softly. Although it's a rant, I've said it so softly. Thank you for being with Coffee with Temi. Did you have a coffee while you were listening to this? So, until next time, I'm going to say be bold, lift your head up, shoulders straight, chest out, and stay away from things that are insignificant to where you are, to who you are, because you're much more than that. See you next time. Bye for now.